Well, what's it been like playing for Wes Welker early on?
Really cool. Like, I mean, if you're a receiver, early whatever, 2000s, um, you obviously watched him play. So like being able to learn from him and like see the stuff that he did so well and hear why it worked is like super cool for I know not just me, like the rest of the guys too.
Well, what's his message been, just sort of broadly coming into the room and trying to do his own thing with you guys?
Honestly, it's like kind of play with speed. I mean, that's been kind of the big, I guess, overarching thing that like we've been talking about is just playing fast.
We were just talking to him. He was saying he wants to see you play not maybe a little bit more consistently, but expecting that every play you're going to make a great catch.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way?
Yeah. I would agree with that. There's, I mean, obviously plays that are, catches might be a little bit harder, but you have to always expect to make that play, and that's something that I felt like, I didn't do that good of a job of last year. I wasn't making those tough catches, and that's something that I'm kind of trying to, work towards.
I think you mentioned on social media you put on a little bit of weight this off season.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly?
I don't know. I just kind of like messing with people a little bit.
Oh.
People, I mean, I definitely have put on weight, but everybody expects me to come back like 215 or something. I'm like 197 right now. It's just a big jump from last year. Last year I finished the season at like probably 188. So yeah, I mean, just putting on like good healthy weight. I feel like my legs got a little bit stronger, all that stuff. So realistically, I'll probably play this year right around 197. Try to stay in between 200 195.
Is that preventing injury type of weight? I mean, why did you feel like you needed to do that?
I mean, I know I'm not the thickest guy. I know I'm a little slimmer, and so that's something that I've always been trying to work on. Just gaining a little bit more weight, get a little bit stronger, and doesn't really have too much to do with injury. I don't know. I never really got hurt until last season, and it was just kind of some freak things that happened. But it's more being able to, I guess, deal with the strength of the other players in the NFL.
Well, were they trying to jam you a lot at the line? I mean, is that part of it?
Not really. I mean, it's just everybody is a little bit stronger than they were in college, and that's just something that I felt like everybody needs to take a step somewhere. I felt like that was something I needed to do.
Dante, Pierre obviously isn't here anymore, and just the complexion of the wide receiver core. I mean, you could be the top guy. I mean, do you feel those expectations or?
No, not really. I mean, people don't think that we have a top guy, so it's like there's really no expectations anywhere. I feel like.
You played opposite of Richard Sherman a little bit during OTAs. Obviously, it's only a couple weeks, but I mean, compared to what he was like last year, where he seemed to be a little limited with injury, do you see a difference?
Yeah, a big difference. I think he's a lot more quicker, in and out of breaks and everything, and he's always been able to like see everything well, but right now I feel like he's reacting to everything quicker than he was last year.
George Kittle last year said he made a big jump in part because he just had a better grasp of the offense and could hear the play calls and know exactly what he needed to do rather than being sort of a fish out of water or something like that in his rookie season. Are you going through a similar thing now heading into your second year, just a better grasp of the system?
And it kind of started to happen at the end of the season last year. I was, able to play a little bit more, and the more you play, the more like comfortable you get being in the huddle and actually hearing like the crowd and looking over, seeing the defense, hearing, the quarterback calling the play and stuff. And so the last few games I felt a lot more comfortable with that. In the offseason, obviously, being able just to kind of look back over the plays and then getting the whole OTAs and all that stuff in has definitely helped me, I guess, learn the offense a lot more.
And as part of that, too, learning multiple positions. Like I know you focused mostly on X last year, but are you able to do more Z and slot stuff?
Yeah, they moved me around a lot last year. And I feel like they were kind of just like, this is how you're going to learn. Just like throw me in there and move me around, see what I can do. And so I think that last year, me doing that so early helped me figure it out later on.
Dante, last season, some of those kind of criticized about your game was, hesitancy over the middle.
Mhm.
Talked to Wes about it a little bit today. You know, as a guy, Wes Welker, and someone who's willing, almost sometimes to a fault, to go over the middle
Mhm.
like that, how has he been able to help you kind of go over that hurdle? Or how do you think he has the potential to help you to go over that hurdle?
It's really it's just, I don't know, you have to just commit to it, and it starts in practice, just attacking the ball. The big thing is when you see the ball, you go towards it instead, because it's going to mess up the defender's angle. So that's just something that I've been working on, is trying to go towards the ball across the middle instead of just letting it dictate your path.
What kind of chemistry do you have with Garoppolo now, and how's that come along?
I think we have good chemistry. I mean, we, I don't know, we've done whatever this last 3-4 weeks, whatever it was, got a lot of routes in and stuff. And so I think it's just growing every day. And
It's like really structured right now, right? Because he's not in the team drills, so it's more
Yeah.
of you know exactly the routes you're doing rather than adjusted on the fly.
yeah, I mean, we're still doing 7-on-7.
Yeah.
And so that's a pretty good passing period for us. So there's still a lot moving in that and stuff. So we've had a lot of reps together.
Any difference in his passing or since he's coming back from an injury?
Honestly, I don't really remember what it was like last year because I was so just like all over the place. But he's looking really good right now.
Dante, when you said people don't think you guys have a top guy, I mean, do you look at that as, I don't know, it's not disrespect? Are you eager to prove that you can be that top guy?
I'm going to play football. I mean, like, I don't know if I'm the top guy, like, okay, great. Marquise, top guy, great. Like, someone's going to step up.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the best football that I can play. And if that puts me at receiver 1 or whatever, great. If it doesn't, I know we're still going to be able to move the ball, score touchdowns, win some games. I don't think any of us are worried about who they see as being the number 1 guy.
Is that kind of because Kyle Shanahan offense isn't predicated on having just one go-to guy?
Yeah, I mean, move the ball around a ton. Whoever he wants to get the ball is going to get the ball. So, you know, if you're in that position, you might as well just get open.
Are you noticing? You mentioned sort of how difficult things might have been just adjusting to the offense last year. Are you noticing the same thing with Debo? And is it funny for you to be removed from that and be like, I know what you're going through?
Yeah, me and Richie were talking about that the other day. Because once you get through like the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 days of install, you start going back to like day 1 install, and that's when everything just kind of clumps together. And so you see them getting out of the huddle and kind of thinking a little bit, like looking around, like, oh, what do I have right now? And so we were saying how funny it was that like we were just there and just kind of telling them like what it's like, how it's gonna go, and not just to not get down really, because that's part of the game really.
How's Debo handling all that?
Pretty good. I mean, as well as you can. I feel like when you have really, we had 4 rookies and they're all trying to learn the offense, and I think they're doing a good job of handling it. You know, when they mess up, they're not getting too upset or whatever, and they're all trying really hard to actually learn it. They're not just like, oh, I messed up, like whatever, blah blah blah. They're in there working.
Is part of your progress also because you had a full off season to really focus on coming back and playing football as opposed to preparing for pre-draft? And
Yeah, the like rookie off season, or like from senior year to rookie season, is kind of rough. So it's definitely nice to be able to just focus on literally playing football and not like running a 40 or whatever. So it's nice.
is there anything specific that you worked on during this time?
Trying to get a little bit bigger, and my routes, I guess, being more like consistent in how I run my routes, and deliberate on like coming in and out of breaks and all that stuff.
Do you want to do more punt return this year than last?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. You know, getting the ball in my hands, trying to make a play.
You've got a position coach who did that, very well
Right.
as a pro. I mean, do you think that helps your cause, your case to, if you wanted to do that? If you were starting wide receiver, they might be reluctant to have you back there, but
Yeah,
since you have Wes.
yeah. I don't think they're worried about like if I'm starting or not, like putting me back there. I think it's just they're gonna put the best guy back there. Obviously, that was Trent last year. And so that if we're splitting time or whatever, if Trent's at full time, I'm at full time, I know they're just trying to help the team win.